it's again stcherniak from Berlin Immobilien. Today I would like to talk to you about the procedure and duration of a typical real estate transaction in Germany. In Germany, if both parties, the seller and the buyer, came to an agreement on selling and buying the property, agreed on the terms and the purchase price, the next step they hire a notary. Notary is an essential part of every real estate transaction in Germany. Notary normally has been hired by the buyer and it's been paid by the buyer. It takes typically to a notary 1 to 5 working days to prepare a draft agreement that is normally being sent by email to the both parties, seller and the buyer. If the both parties, seller and the buyer, are natural entities or both parties are legal entities, normally upon issuing the draft agreement, next day notarization may take place. If one of the parties is a legal entity and another party is a natural entity, German law requires 14 days for both parties to study the purchase agreement. Once you signed the purchase agreement, notary sends letters to local land and federal authorities as well as to managing company to permit the signed agreement. Normally permits take at least 2 weeks or 1 month, and maximum it may take up to a year. In my practice it took up to 10 months. Upon receiving these permits, notary issues letters to both parties to pay the transaction and gives 14 days for the payment. After payment has been made, both parties should confirm to the notary that the buyer has paid the money and the seller has got the money. Upon receiving these confirmations, notary confirms the ownership can be transferred. Now let us talk about the procedure. Normally in a typical notarization procedure in Germany, 3 parties take part. First party is the notary. Notary is an essential part in every transaction in Germany, a real estate transaction in Germany. Every party can take a lawyer, but it's not obligatory. Anyways, a notary is very essential, and he can be chosen and should be paid by the buyer. The 2 other parties are the seller and the buyer themselves. The seller and the buyer can choose an attorney to sign the purchase agreement on their behalf. Attorney can be signing the purchase agreement with and without power of attorney. If the signature is been made by the attorney without power of attorney, then the notary, upon the notarization, sends to the buyer and or to the seller special letter that should be confirmed by the buyer or seller at the office of consul in the embassy of his country, or at the office of any notary in his country, and should be translated into German with apostille. attorney can represent one party or both parties. Again, with and without power of attorney. Stay with us. Thank you.